Welcome, guys. Welcome to this edition of Market Wrap with our research head, Mr. Pankaj Pandey. Pankaj, sir, last trading session of 2023, we have ended up almost 20% gains in Nifty ka because 18,100 something we closed last year. So 20% gain, ICICI target is done. अब सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है नए साल में जा रहे हैं तो नए साल में निफ्टी आउटलुक वाज 24,200. Is there any change and is there any revised target for Nifty that comes in from your end?
So, hi, good afternoon, Gaurav. I think before I look at 2024, our previous target was 21,500 from a fundamental perspective.
Right.
Like fundamental team, I have a derivative team also, which comes with a target and also the technical team. So, luckily for us, all the three targets were met for all the respective team. Now, this time around, what I'm going to talk is the fundamental target. So, fundamental target हमारा जो निफ्टी में है 25,000 का है. निफ्टी में अगर आप देखिए तो निफ्टी करंट 21,700 के लेवल पे करीब 20 टाइम्स ट्रेड कर रहा है ऑन FY25 बेसिस एंड ओवरऑल जो अर्निंग ग्रोथ एक्सपेक्टेशन व्हाट वी आर कैरिंग इज अबाउट 16%. तो 1250 का निफ्टी का EPS एस्टिमेट है फॉर 26.
Right.
Because sometime we will roll into FY26 as well. So our sense is that P multiples तो कम होते हुए नहीं दिख रहे हैं. India में we would not expect multiples to sort of contract. So largely जो market का performance होगा वो जो earning growth होगी उसके हिसाब से होगा. So which is why I feel that कि market में from current levels there is an upside of about 15%. So which fetches a target of 25,000 on Nifty, and parallel target for Sensex is 83,250.
Okay, so this is calendar year or financial year target, sir?
This is calendar year.
Okay, so December 2024 का target is 25,000 fundamentally. तो viewers, sir ने भी clear किया. I'll also reiterate. We have three reports. Yearly quant pick is usually from a derivative team, technical from a technical team, and fundamental team. हमारे ये quant pick में 24,200 आया है, टेक्निकल में 24,700 आया है एंड फंडामेंटल में 25,000 आया है. तो इन केस यू आर कंफ्यूज, दीज आर द थ्री रिपोर्ट्स. यू कैन टेक द मीन ऑफ दिस एंड कीप दैट एज योर टारगेट इफ यू वांट टू गो अहेड विद दैट लेवल. तो सर ये रही हमारे कैलेंडर ईयर 2024 की बात. वी आर हेडिंग इनटू लाइक नया साल शुरू होने वाले. मंडे मार्केट्स आर ओपन, सो वी हैव टू बी देयर इन द ऑफिसेज बिकॉज मार्केट्स आर ओपन. सो व्हाट इज योर आउटलुक फॉर द फर्स्ट मंथ ऑफ 2024 एंड जनवरी मंथ, बिकॉज दैट इज द फर्स्ट trading month before the budget and that is the last budget of our current government. So what do we expect and what is there in store?
So when we look at this week, again, this has been a record-setting spree which we have seen in the market. So our market gained about closer to 2%, and whereas global benchmarks of major indices gained only 1%. Now our sense is that the overall Nifty will continue to trend higher with a target of 22,300. But obviously, because market is slightly overbought, so possibly our sense is that we might see some bit of a profit taking or consolidation to happen, and which is why I feel that support should be placed at somewhere about 21,300. So you have a 1,000-point kind of a sort of a gap is what we're looking at. And overall, I think sense is that banking and financial services, metals, capital goods ideally should do well along with some of the consumption and pharma names.
Okay. So, do you expect any dip to come in January? Because what I'm asking is ki right now we have seen an fantastic rally in December. 19 from like higher 19,000 level to higher 21,000 level. We have seen 2,000 point rally. So, any dips do you expect, or you expect this to like if there is a dip, what is the support level that you're seeing?
So Gaurav, like I said, from here on another 500 points more. So we are sitting largely at 21,700. So another 500 points more is what we would expect market to gain.
Okay.
But it is very much possible that we might see some bit of a correction of 2-3%, and which is why I feel that support is placed at 500 points below, which is 21,200,
200-250 level, somewhere around there.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So viewers, keep this in mind. This is like 1:1 thing. Downside is also 500, upside is also 500. Please place your bet accordingly. That is what we can say from our end. So sir, there's one question that comes in कि आपने निफ्टी का टारगेट दे दिया. अब निफ्टी को बढ़ाने वाले कुछ सेक्टर्स है, कुछ स्टॉक्स है और ये है. So if I have to see Nifty going to 25,000 by December end of 2024, so which sector is in focus for you here?
So, Gaurav, this time we are sort of focusing not on sectors which will play out in, say, calendar year 2024, but what we are seeing is that where we see decent runway for growth for the next 5, 6 years. Now, if
Yeah,
India has to achieve $7 trillion economic size, then some of the core sectors need to perform. And
yeah,
of that, obviously, capex is a big cycle. We all know that government has been spending big on capex. So that is one. Then I think what is also happening is that on the capex side, we are sort of tilting more towards the green capex side, especially on the hydrogen side. And also, our sense is that export is also sort of getting a good push along with
yeah.
import replacement. So PLI beneficiaries are another segment to sort of look at. Then I think you have core sectors like steel and cement because nothing will happen if your these core sectors do not perform.
Right.
And then within consumption, auto is one of the biggest discretionary consumption sectors. So obviously that is another sector. Then I think real estate is coming after a long slumber, and our sense is that real estate cycles typically last 5, 6 years. We are probably in the second year, so real estate still has
Yeah,
a decent amount of legs. And it has multiplier benefits on the economy largely because it is one of the largest employers of unskilled labor.
yeah.
And last but not the least, nothing will happen without banking. So I think so. Banking is another factor which is on a very strong footing. So I think these are the core sectors which are going to sort of help the markets achieve a lot more higher levels. So we have given 50,000 kind of a target for Nifty for this decade.
2030. Yeah.
And if economy has to achieve $7 trillion kind of a size, I think all these sectors need to sort of perform. And which is why I feel that one should be there invested in these sectors. And which is why our theme has been to focus on only core sectors which are going to drive the economy to $7 trillion size.
Okay. Sir, I may just ask you, do you have specific picks from these sectors? Because sectors में बात कर रहे हैं, but क्या है उसमें लोग बोलेंगे कि आप picks भी बता दो. So you will be sharing this pick, like one stock per sector going ahead in this.
So what I'm going to do is that I will share about 7 picks, but some of them or most of them are from these segments only.
Okay.
But not necessarily that each and every segment will have a pick.
That's okay.
The Simon recommendation I'm going to sort of talk about largely will be from these sectors only.
Yeah, that's okay. One thing I want to congratulate you on this has been you have been bullish on auto sector since June. I remember since June you have been saying ki Tata Motors, Tata Motors, Tata Motors, because I remember you had revised the target as well. 600-ish target, say you revised it to 810. I remember when somebody has spoken about it. Today, Tata Motors has crossed 800. I think 802 was the intraday high that it has made. And it is the only stock in Nifty 50 which has doubled this year. So, sir, your conviction on one pick has been really great. So, I wanted to congratulate on you on this one script which you have, and this and HAL has been very consistent in your recommendation to our clients.
Yeah, absolutely. I still like this stock largely because next year you have a lot more launches, especially on the EV side. Then there are a couple of refreshes, and I think if one goes by the today's announcement in terms of government looking to add 7 lakh buses over the next 6, 7 odd years, that's massive actually. So
Yeah.
I think if my sense is correct, we sell about 50,000 odd buses on a yearly basis. So you are looking to sort of nearly double and that to EV. So I think the opportunity pie definitely is expanding.
Yeah.
No reason for us to sort of turn cautious in the stock.
So you will be revising the target again?
Hopefully, yes.
Oh, great. Because they say na Tata Motor is like a buffet of auto because आप पैसेंजर साइड पे जाइए, आप ट्रक साइड पे जाइए, ईवी साइड पे जाइए, लग्जरी में जाइए, मतलब नीचे वाले सेडान में आ जाइए, हैचबैक में आ जाइए. Everywhere this stock is like every product is there from this section. So great. So moving ahead, there's one thing that हमने 24,000 का target दिया, अभी आपने 25,000 का target दिया, and last year also people ask you why are you bullish? So this is the question that you encounter always कि why is it such a big or aggressive target? So sir, let's break the ice here. आप ही बताओ why are you bullish and what are the reasons for being like giving 25,000 as the target?
So Gaurav, the reason why we are bullish is that we feel that this current cycle which has started is more like 2003 to 2007. Largely because almost all the core sectors of the economy are looking good and are expected to fire. So which is why we are sort of bullish. Now you look at some of the other individual pieces. So, for example, on the inflow side, we are quite confident that the domestic flows, which is about 17,000 odd crores kind of SIP inflows plus 3 to 4,000 kind of EPFO flows. So roughly you are looking at net inflows of in excess of about 2 lakh crores, which is $25 billion. And on top of it, we are in a rate cut cycle, and our sense is that global inflows are also going to sort of increase if last 1.5 months is a trend to sort of go by. And on top of it, you're going to get $25 billion kind of an inflow on the bond side. So that is another positive. Then we all know that government has been very sort of particular about following the capex template to sort of drive the economic growth. So 30% CAGR kind of a growth has been there in core segments like road and railways. And recent commentary does not suggest there is any U-turn there. And good part is that we are going to see good amount of green capex. Now, green capex largely it's hydrogen and the entire value chain. Our sense is that this segment alone can attract a capex of about 14 lakh crores. And mind you, we are looking to have a target share of about 10% of green hydrogen by 2030. So global production is expected to be 100 million tons, and we are chasing about 10 million tons. And all your big companies are sort of putting a lot of muscle behind in doing this, which gives us sort of confidence. The defense is another sector. While it has done well, but you still have a pipeline of nearly 5-6 lakh crore over the next 3-4 years, which is huge, which is quite significant. Then you look at some of the sectors where private sector is sort of dominating. So cement is one sector which used to add about 20 million ton kind of a capacity here, say from 2017 to 2022. Annual capacity addition in cement was about 20 million tons. What we are sensing is that next year, going forward, you'll see 35 million tons of addition of capacity every year in the cement, and which will entail a capex of in excess of 1 lakh crores. Then PLI is something which is expected to reap big benefits. So we already have exports of about 470 odd billion dollars. Senses that you could incrementally add about $500 billion with the help of PLI for some core sectors. And steel is another very core sector. So here, overall, when you sort of look at the capacity is expected to be doubled at 300 million tons. And that will require a massive capex of about 11 lakh crores. And our sense is that top 5 companies, their capex is going to sort of double to somewhere about 55,000 odd crores on an annual basis for next few years. So that is also going to fire. And we already know auto is already doing well. I have auto sales at lifetime highs. CV is likely to achieve a peak this year. Tractor is already good. Two-wheelers have started to sort of recover. Banking, I think, has delivered one of the best numbers we have seen this year, largely because your gross NPAs have come down from low double digits to low single digits, and profitability is sort of back. Banks are approaching ROAs of 1%. And last but not the least, real estate is a decadal revival. I have spoken a lot about it, so I will not sort of repeat.
Yeah.
So I think all your major segments are sort of firing, and which is why we don't feel any reason to be sort of disappointed with the economic or recovery what is sort of about to unfold.
Sir, I think you missed defense sector, I think. Because I want you to speak on defense sector.
I covered defense. So I spoke about you have an opportunity of nearly 5 to 6 lakh crore of ordering.
Yeah.
And so, this keeps on increasing only. Yeah.
Exactly. And since we have to protect our borders and given the conflicts that goes on, this sector will definitely be in current. So, sir, we have spoken about why you're bullish, which, which sectors would do well for going ahead. So last year क्या हुआ था मैं अपने experience से बोल रहा हूँ. Last year when we had given 21,400 का target, we Nifty closed near 18,000 and March में we saw a dip of 16,800 that came in. So we got trolled and it was like 1600, like अगर आप 18,000 से 1600 जा रहे हो, then 1400 points ही अगर आप देखोगे तो that is roughly around 9%, 10% around correction. So ये जर्नी भी सीधा तो नहीं रहने वाला, हमारे पास करेक्शन और टिप्स आने वाले हैं. तो एज एन इन्वेस्टर, लाइक हाउ शुड यू स्ट्रेटेजाइज योरसेल्फ if there is any dip or something, if somebody wants to start investing right now from this juncture, looking at our report and sectors that we have spoken about?
So Gaurav, one thing or one consistent trend which we have seen every year So is that large caps can correct by 10 to 15 odd percent, mid caps by say 15 to 25%, small caps 20 to 30 odd percent. And that's a very basic sort of a fall which occurs every point of time. Now, this is not to say that one should turn bearish. This is just to highlight the kind of inherent risk which market always carries. Now, this profit taking can happen largely because one, we have seen a good year. So you have already seen the Nifty doing 20%. I think mid cap is up 45%, small cap is up more than 50%. So obviously, correction can happen, but our sense is that structurally one should be positive on the market, and one should not get fearful when we see these kind of a decline. I think that is what the kind of a mistake people made last year. They thought that things are going in a U-turn, but markets have actually bounced back quite handsomely from those levels. So this year also it is possible that 10 to 12% kind of a correction in Nifty is very much possible. Now, इसमें good question is कि ये correction किस level से आएगा? So which is I think is a very unknown element even for us also. But mentally, people should be prepared that there could be a correction of 10 to 12 odd percent, or depending on the categories. And that is one of the biggest risks because see, market chala hai, so obviously some bit of a profit taking can always be expected.
So what we can do is every week we meet, so we can review it on that basis. But what we can say is if there is a correction of 10% in large cap, 20% in mid cap, and around 30% in small cap, you should not panic and take it as a buying opportunity. So do keep some dry powder to invest when there is a correction. That would be a perfect way to like summarize this. Okay, sir, आपने target दे दिया, आपने sector दे दिया जो target तक पहुंचाएंगे, आपने why bullish का बात बता दिया. अब चौथा आता है सर, कौन से stocks हैं वो भी बता दो.
Yes. So I think BFSI space, जैसे मैंने बात किया तो overall BFSI space में what I am recommending is SBI Cards. Obviously, SBI is credit card is again a good discretionary item for spending. Now, SBI Card did not have a very great year. One, because you had risk weightages had gone up, interest rate had gone up, margins had come down. Then what happens is that people spend on cards, and then some of the people revolve money. But thing happened was that the revolver have been on a lower side, which means that lower interest income for SBI card. Now, our sense is that as we head into 2024, interest rates are expected to sort of come down, so which would also mean that you will see some relief there. The other thing is that when we sort of spend on cards, a lot of you will notice that banks are looking to sort of offer or convert those spend into EMIs. So that's a sort of a good protection for margins, what these companies are looking at, including SBI Card. And which is why I feel that the worst is already there in the prices, and next year should be good with some of these factors working in its favor. And which is why I feel it has got a upside potential of 25% with a target of 950. Then the other stock on the BFSI is Ugrow Capital. Now this is the MSME lender, and MSME is a very big segment of our Indian economy, right from the overall economic growth perspective. Now, our sense is that it is one segment which is largely untapped, and this company has got data-backed models or approaches for the opportunity, and which is why this model becomes a lot more scalable. So, company is eyeing a growth of say 50% CAGR in their AUM, and partly I think they are also would be looking at exploring doing the co-lending model as well. So this is also a proxy play on the overall MSME as a segment, which is going to be an important driver for overall economy. Then I think I spoke about core sectors like cement and steel. Now, what I like in cement is Birla Corporation with a target price of 1755. Now, this company has already expanded capacity. Volumes are expected to grow at 7%. We would see a recovery in their EBITDA per ton to closer to 993 or 1,000 rupees from 500 because cement demand is expected to be good. So, which is why we like this company. Valuations are good at 7.5 times EV by EBITDA. Then
I'm just writing your stock and their targets in the chat section as well, so that people who can
Okay.
easily take it from there. So वो समझना मत कि I'm not listening to you. I'm just doing two
Yeah.
things side by side. Yeah.
Now, also spoke about metals as a pack. Now, metal, if the capacity has to, industry capacity has to sort of double by 300 million tons, I think it will not happen without NMDC sort of contributing. So
Yeah.
in NMDC, our target is 250. Now, this company, last few years, say 2014 to 21, there was hardly any volume growth. So 30-35 million ton hi hota tha, but now we have started seeing volume growth. So 46 million ton is what they will do in FY24 and about 50 million tons in FY25. And आगे जाके ये 100 million ton तक जाएंगे. And अच्छी चीज है कि besides iron ore, they are also sort of exploring other segments like say bauxite, gold, diamond, lithium. So I
Right.
think it becomes a quite interesting opportunity for mining as a sector. I already spoke
Said
about
last
that
time.
mining. Yes. So mining has started to sort of look interesting, and I feel that NMDC is an interesting stock within that. Then I think auto, like I said, is witnessing a good amount of premiumization play, right? And which is why I feel that a company like Uno Minda is a good fit with a target price of 810. Now, this company provides, say, seating, alloy wheels, airbag, sensors. So all your high-end cars typically will have the components of this. And this company historically has always delivered higher growth than the industry.
Yes.
And which is why I feel that this is another company which should be looked at with a target price of 810. Now, I talked about the real estate sector also. I mean, if we recall, we had given Century Ply as a play during our Mahurut pick.
And
but for
the
New
target is
Year's,
done.
yeah. Now we are looking to. Now I am suggesting to buy Greenply Industries with a target price of 295.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, the story largely remains the same because whatever the residential sales have happened, I think they'll start hitting completion this year.
Right.
And obviously, the demand for building materials like wood panels will sort of increase, and Greenply obviously will benefit from it. Good part is that they've started a new plant for MDF in the first half, and expected is that this will see a ramp up. So initially this year, utilization could be 45-50 odd%. It will expand. Margins also in this segment will expand from say 15 odd% to 20 odd%. So this is another company which should benefit. And I think last but not the least, if I have to play the entire industrial capex, then I think a company like Grindwell Norton should do well with a target price of 2,700. Now, this company is into abrasives and ceramics, and good part is that so they used to do capex of some 50 odd crores. Last 10-year average is that. But if you look at last 2-3 years, they've done a capex of 400 plus crores. And our sense is that going forward, they should deliver double-digit kind of a growth. So it's a good proxy play on the overall capex story, which is going to sort of unfold. So largely, with the core sectors where we are bullish on, I have recommended stocks only from those pockets.
Sir, one disappointment, sir. So BEL, HAL, INE, sir.
So I've been very heavy in terms of recommending all kinds of defense stocks, so BDL or Vidhani.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll give others a chance, and let probably defense sector sort of consolidate a bit. So which is why it's not being recommended. But this is not to say that we are sort of done with the defense sector. I think there's still a lot of juice left.
Picture abhi baki hai.
Yeah,
sir, one last question. Sorry, economy. Sir, if we are reaching $7 trillion economy, the power sector, power generation, and that has to be, because power demand will tend to go up. That is very natural in a growing economy. So I use bullish on this sector because we have seen breakouts in Tata Power and all these heavy like good counters now. So NTPC, to be precise, मतलब a stock like NTPC has broken out and ऐसा चला है कि ऐसे कभी चला ही नहीं हो. So can we find more juice in this sector as well?
So on the power sector, I'm very bullish because all your green hydrogen cannot happen with renewable energy, especially from the solar or wind side. But like you said, even a stock like NTPC has sort of done well. NTPC used to be our top pick, so largely has sort of met our target. I think let's see how the quarterly results come by, and post that we'll look at revising some of these
Perfect.
targets for some of these companies. But quite bullish on the entire power as a pack.
Perfect. So there are a few questions. I'll just take them. One is someone is wishing you a very happy new year. Inder Kumar Chawla sir, happy new year to you as well.
I wish all the viewers a very happy New Year.
Happy and profitable new year, sir. Let's add
Profitable,
one.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, Prakash sir, we do not take these things. You can contact our product team and then sort it out. Okay, it says someone, CA Rajesh Ochani is asking, sir, IT going forward will be one of the core sector. Please suggest at least two small cap, mid cap IT sector companies which will switch gears from small to mid or mid to large. Okay, that's an interesting question.
So IT, I'll come back, but structurally, we feel the domestic story is a lot more stronger, unlike the IT sector. Because see, one of the risks which we have identified is that globally we are still not sure what kind of growth will pan out.
Okay.
And whether this will happen with a lag. So which is why we are still sort of not very sure, because most of your IT companies, typically 65 to 70% of their revenues are coming from North America.
Yeah.
So we are still not very sure, and which is why I'm not, but at an appropriate time, I'll sort of come up with stocks also which are going to sort of benefit.
Okay. So the dollar revenue remains uncertain here. These are our investment picks. So just making clear, these are not our momentum or gladiator picks. These are fundamentally researched picks for an investment horizon of 1 year given by Pankaj sir. Okay. So someone's asking, Transform TRIL. Are you tracking this stock? He's asking view on TRIL.
So I think this stock has also sort of rallied to say levels like say 230 odd.
45 say.
Yeah. So in between we had a note. We had been liking that stock, but I think the run up in the stock has been more than what we would have anticipated. So at this point in time, we don't have a view on the stock now.
Okay. Sir, view on Ashok Buildcon. Do we have any?
So from a road segment players, what we like is say something like, say for example, PNC Infra, HG Infra. I think HG Infra has done quite well. PNC Infra should do well because their asset monetization is still sort of pending. So once that is done, the way HG Infra is sort of done well, our sense is that even PNC Infra will do well. Ashoka Buildcon, we don't have a comfort.
Okay. And PNC Infra is just going through a lot of mutual fund holdings. So this stock is almost there in every MF's small cap or mid cap fund scheme. Moving on, sir. View on HDFC Bank. Preetham, sir, I think we have covered HDFC Bank extensively, and sir has been bullish here because from 1460 odd, we are at 1700 plus. So I'll just skip this question for a while. KG sir is asking, not sure is this the right platform to ask, what is the return from Master of Markets recommendation on an average for 3 to 5 years? Sir, I have no idea. Master of Markets, do we have a section like that?
Even I am not very sure. Probably if you can mail me, I'll try to figure out what it is.
You want me to put your email ID in the chat?
You can.
Okay.
Or you can put your
the comment section would be better. Yeah. KG sir, what we can do is you can just send your email ID. We'll just contact you via email. That would be perfect. Any companies which are likely to enter Nifty 15 2024 and which are likely to exit 2024? Sir, this is a very I'll not take this question because rejig and all those happen. So वो हमें भी नहीं पता होता है. So let's.
I think this is fairly covered in our quant report for 2024.
Yeah, I think Rajbhai has covered this. Sir, we do not have any, Preetham sir, we do not have any coverage on any ICICI group companies, so I'm skipping that. View on alcohol industry and suggestion, sir. Last week only we have given United Spirits for a target of 1250. So New Year pick ki samajh lijiye wo hamare end se. So that is what was there. KG sir, again I'm repeating, you can just once this video ends, please put your email ID in the chat section, in the comment section. We'll get back to you. So sir, that's it. I think hidden gem आज नहीं होगा because hidden gems आपने दे दिए हमें 6, 7.
Correct,
so that would be perfect. So sir, wishing you a very happy new year, sir. A prosperous happy new year and more profitable, more like profit to होगा, but a health wise a very good new year to you and our viewers from mine.
Same to you, Gaurav, and to all the viewers.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to never miss an update from ICICI Direct.